news.
All right, guys. So before I give you the breaking news, which is old news, but I told you if you sip tea with me, any news is good news because we be sipping all the tea with no shade, talking everything up to Yahweh. Why? Who in the hell else should you be talking to in these last days besides God, the Spirit of God, the anointing of God, the Christ of God, the Messiah, the Yeshua, and me, right? Welcome to ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ears stay. All right, guys. So basically, this is OT about somewhere around November 19th. But this NFL guy here, Zac Stacy, he is dead wrong, caught on camera, beating his girlfriend in front of his 5-month-old baby. So I'm going to read some accounts to you real quick and give you a backdrop. He has been arrested and charged with 2 counts of battery, I do believe. But there's some things in this story, guys, that just made me go, or I should say, made my spiritual ear go. All right, and I'm not here condoning anybody getting beat up by their boyfriend, but the problem I have, if you choose to stay and then somehow take these beatings along the way, saying you're crying wolf and crying out for help, only to stay and then turn the camera on to catch everything in the act thereof, says something that's kind of fishy to me, guys. So let me know what you think going along. I will be interjecting myself here to make comments along as you see the video footage. But again, this is not to support domestic violence in a negative way. This is to shine light on domestic violence because so many women choose to stay. Now, we're going to hear his ex girlfriend, I'm hoping and assuming, since she got, her hands put on her like she did by him. I would hope she's not still calling this man her boyfriend, right? So, we're going to hear this girl say how basically she went to the police, they failed
I feel lost in the system.
her. No, I believe this woman failed herself when she chose to stay. Baby and all, you got to go, women. And it's funny how she didn't have any cameras on prior to this. But this one particular time, and then there's going to be an instance, guys, where, she says, as you walked up talking to the news reporter, I was crying, fearing for my life. But when I drop the link, because I am not going to show the video here, YouTube been messing with me, right? But the video is on YouTube, so I'm going to give you a link. But, she's tearing up and everything. But as this guy is hitting her in her head, slamming her into the TV, kicking her, it looked like, threatening her, you don't see no tears anywhere. So, guys, check this out, and I'll be back with the rest of my commentary.
Well, every time a car has passed by, I am resisting the urge to look to see who it is. I started crying when you walked up because I'm scared.
All right, so what we have is a former NFL. We have a former NFL running back, Zac Stacy, arrested on 2 charges, including aggravated battery, y'all. He did more than batter that woman, let me tell you. And she liked battery because this isn't the first time this happened, y'all. And it looked like she was comfortable bracing herself, taking these hit-ins or beatings so she can actually get it on camera, all right? I'm just saying, I got to be honest with y'all over here. So, editor's note. This story contains alleged accounts of domestic violence. Why would they say alleged accounts when you can clearly see the man pounding on her? But sometimes domestic violence is accepted and tolerated to try to set the person up in the long run. He's a football player. This is her way of an escape. She can get her name out. People on social media look to do anything to go viral. And I'm not saying that's what she did here. But somebody else in this world feels that it's an alleged, not the fact that he put his hands on her. That's abuse. But this domestic violence that some women cry out in the universe or some men cry out in the universe, sometimes they set people up. Sometimes they provoke people to put their hands on them. And you could clearly hear her being obedient in these beatings as if, she ain't like, what you doing? Leave me alone. She's like, okay, all right. I was, you'll kind of see what I'm talking about.
There is a nationwide search for this former NFL player seen in this disturbing video that's difficult to watch.
Things are way different now.
I'm Dave Puglisi in Orange County, where police are looking for former NFL running back Zac Stacy, who's accused of beating his ex-girlfriend before taking off. She tells me that she's scared that Stacy might be coming back.
This was just the last straw.
And the way he was, roughing her up, it should have been a little bit more outcry and a little bit more tears but again, this may have been staged, allegedly, okay? There's nothing alleged about domestic violence. Somebody beating on you, I'm going to insert the domestic violence hotline number for you again in this video. I've been doing it recently because I feel like people are being abused in the spirit, especially all the cases of the women being murdered in the land today, near and far, right? So with that being said, this story contains alleged accounts of domestic violence. If you or someone you know is a survivor of domestic abuse, contact the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800. That's 1-800-799-7233. Or you can go to www.thehotline.org. Now, there's a video surfacing around of this former Zac I'm telling you about, Stacy, NFL running back, allegedly abusing the mother of his young 5-month-old child. And it went public.
I really, truly feel that if it continues, he will kill me.
This violent encounter caught on Kristen Evans' home surveillance. She says the attack is coming at the hands of her ex-boyfriend, former NFLer Zac Stacy.
You think that was okay? Now I do not. Please, please, please.
She put it on Facebook, account says, and TMZ picked it up, right? After it surfaced, Stacy was arrested on multiple felony charges. And I do have his first courtroom appearance, which we are going to get into that at the end of this video. I'll let you hear some of what went down in there. So he was arrested Thursday morning, the morning after a couple of days. They said she made the report and it took the police a couple of days to get there, y'all. So basically, he was at the Orlando International Airport trying to flee, facing charges of aggravated battery and criminal mischief stemming from the video, stemming from the alleged domestic violence, stemming from the abuse that I saw with my own 2 eyes.
Evans spoke with Fox 35 as she hurried to a safe location out of fear Stacy might return. She says Stacy was supposed to turn himself in after police issued a warrant for his arrest, but he has not.
We believed he was in Nashville. We're not sure if he's going to be returning to the Orlando area today. There was some word of that.
Evans began a relationship with Stacy in August of 2019, which was on and off. In recent months, she says he's gotten more and more physical with her.
This was just the last straw, I would say. I really, truly feel that if it continues, he will kill me. He just feels justified in his actions. So there's nothing that anyone could do to justify something like that.
Which was recorded by the victim's home surveillance system. Has she ever turned this system on? Has she ever caught the other abuses? Why now? Is all I'm asking. And in order to catch somebody in the act, you got to know they're about to rage on you. And in order for them to rage on you, You got to turn the camera on for us to see. Is that possibly what she did in this situation? Come on now. We dealing with a Becky. We dealing with a Karen. And some of you black women have done and did this as well. So don't act like we're not talking to Bonquisha, Letitia.
Evans says that she's filed police reports against Stacy in the
all
past.
that
She said that she went public with this one in order to make sure that it wouldn't be overlooked again. In Oakland, Dave Puglisi, Fox 35 News.
And Dave, Kristen Evans has been posting to Twitter all day. She claims she has filed police reports before, and the state attorney has not picked them up.
So she posted the video on Facebook with the caption, Vanderbilt's finest, Zac Stacy, violent domestic abuse in front of our 5-month-old son. See? Some people saying by this act right here, she's saying, I reached out to the police. I don't know what else to do. They failed me. And we're going to see footage of that, right? We're going to see a post. But here when she did this, turned on her camera, let her boyfriend assault her, domestic violence her, abuse her. She catches on camera. She doesn't seem like she is being hurt by the physical pain, because when I tell you he slammed her into that TV, my lights would have been out right then. I'd have played dead so his ass could leave. I don't know. But she braced herself like she wanted more. Come on, bring it on. Keep it coming. I'm all here for it. I got the cameras rolling. You may not know it, because most people who want to catch you doing something dirty ain't going to tell you they're rolling the footage, right? That old good beef, roll that old good beef footage, right? Roll it, guys. I'm not making fun of anybody here. But until you stop letting people make fun of you and your situation and what we really got going on in this world when it comes to, I'm going to say it, black and white and racial dating and all this other stuff, and people taking the opportunity to stay with these men and women that are abusive, and then when they had enough, why not just leave them? Why you got to bring it to public social media? You didn't bring any other abuse. So something may be going on separating these two. Maybe they're breaking up. Something happened. I don't know. But the videos that she was posting on Facebook have indeed been picked up by TMZ and other outlets such as ReligionWinked TV, and we're over here covering it now.
That's right, Luann. We're at the Oakland Police Department right now asking those questions. As you mentioned, Evans has been very vocal on social media, saying she feels like it took too long for police to issue an arrest warrant. Let's take a look at the timeline of events. Officers were called to the home Saturday afternoon at around 2:30 after Evans called 911. She told investigators what happened and handed over the surveillance video. On Monday, Evans got an order of protection against Stacy. Investigators followed up with her on Tuesday about the beating, and a warrant for Stacy's arrest was signed by a judge on Wednesday. Now, we reached out to the Oakland Police Department to get more information about how exactly this investigation unfolded. They sent us a statement saying in
to search for Stacy, and case was forwarded to the investigation unit, the Oakland Police Department, to establish probable cause to secure a warrant for Stacy's arrest. As the suspect was believed to be outside of Oakland PD jurisdiction, the Orange County Sheriff's Office attempted to apprehend Stacy, but learned he had fled the state.
Initially fled the scene. Officers continued to search for Stacy, and the case was forwarded to the investigations unit of the Oakland Police Department to establish probable cause to secure a warrant for Stacy's arrest. As the suspect was believed to be outside of Oakland PD jurisdiction, the Orange County Sheriff's Office attempted to apprehend Stacy, but learned he had fled the state. And at this point, law enforcement says he is still on the run. Again, we are here at Oakland Police. We've asked for an interview to talk more about how all of this unfolded and have not heard back on those inquiries.
As I said, according to prosecutors state that Stacy left Oakland, Florida, where the victim lives, immediately after the attack, which occurred on November 13th, okay? Depicted in the video that took place on Thursday, Stacy flew back from Nashville to Orlando with his attorney, saying he had the intention of turning himself in. After learning of the warrant for his arrest, he hauled ass, y'all. I'm sorry. He got up out of there. Baby, you should have did that before you put your hands on a young lady. You should have got Ghost before you put your hands on this lady. The way you threw that lady into the TV, if it was me, you should. Y'all, I'm sorry, but I would have had to flip it on his ass. I would have had him somewhere catching a Hail Mary, calling an audible, playing it safe somewhere over in somebody's corner, playing in their back. I would have had him kick, punting, punt return on me. And at the end of the day, I would have set with the devil abusive ass. I'm just saying. Sometimes you got to get victory, okay? And the only way I know how to get victory is to run a play on his ass. Open up my playbook and beat him at his own game, y'all. You'd have came along with me. There's the light, Carrie-Ann. There's the light, Carrie-Ann. You'd have been looking at that light before me, man. Y'all should see how he threw this lady into that dang on TV. That's the spirit I'm talking about. We feel sorry after the fact. Why we don't feel sorry enough or remorseful enough or merciful enough not to do the things that's being caught on camera? Because for the love of God, if she catching it on camera, she was catching it off camera, if you know what I mean, okay? So now Stacy's bond is set at $10,150, okay? The judge presiding over the case has determined that he will have to surrender his passport if he is released, and he has been ordered to avoid all contact with the victim and cannot possess weapons and or firearms. Now, at the end of the day, he is wrong, y'all. He is dead wrong, okay? Don't get me twisted. Don't think I'm sitting over here making light of domestic violence. I told you in several videos over the last 2 or 3 weeks, I purposed in my heart and positioned in my heart to seek these demons out and judge their spirit before I let them tell me how good I look, how great I am, how good I am in bed, how useful and beneficial I am to them until they're driven by me provoking them or them losing control of their own self-control and discipline, putting their hands on me. Ain't no way. Hey guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, follow, and don't forget to hit that. Hell. Thank you. And generally, we women know our mouths can send Jesus over the mountain on the other side of the mountain sometimes, right? And especially can these men who have no control of their flesh or have no control over their souls. Just wild out here, lawless people. So that's what I be meaning by that, y'all. Y'all have to make better choices. Yeah, things get, rocky in a relationship, but never to where the man want to do to you any physical harm, because that's not really love. And then when it get to physical harm, why do you choose to stay? What's broken and missing in you that you feel like God called you to be a punching bag for somebody else?
For now, I'm live in Oakland. Danielle Lama, Fox 35 News.
Danielle, thank you. And we will continue to follow this story. As soon as we get an update on Stacy's whereabouts or an arrest, we'll let you know.
All right, good morning, sir. Can you tell me your name?
Zac Stacy, Senior.
Mr. Stacy, you're here in case 2021 CF 14827AO on charges of aggravated battery, causing great bodily harm, and felony criminal mischief. Mr. Lucan, can you put your name on record?
Yes, Attorney Thomas Luke on behalf of Mr. Stacy, Your Honor.
I believe you have the victim on the line, but I'm not sure if she's able to. speak to us this morning. The information I received, she's still in the hospital, so we want to make sure she had the opportunity to be heard, but we'll proceed. All right, Mr. Stacy, there's a warrant signed by a judge finding probable cause for those charges. Mr. Luke, you want to tell me anything before I set release conditions?
Temporary injunction as well. He does not intend to contact the victim, have any contact whatsoever, third party or otherwise, with the alleged victim in this case. We would just ask the court to set a reasonable bond in this matter. My client is not a wealthy man, and we're just asking for the standard release conditions for the first time aggravated battery. He is not at risk of flight.
Your Honor, he is entitled to a bond, but what I would ask in light of him immediately leaving the area would be that he surrender his passport.
Your Honor, he has no objection to surrendering his passport. He just doesn't have it with him. If the court's going to make that a condition of bond, and we have no objection to it.
All right, Mr. Stacy, you want to set your bond in count one in amount of $10,000, count two amount of $150, condition of your bond. You have no contact with the victim in this case. You are to maintain a separate residence from this victim. I'll give you the one-time return with law enforcement if you need it to retrieve any personal items you have at that residence. You may not possess any weapons or firearms.
Hey guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe, like, share, follow, and don't forget to hit that.
Weapons and firearms you have. You need to be turned over to law enforcement within 24 hours of your release. You ought to surrender your passport before you're released from the Orange County Jail.